And now I'm delighted to welcome to the stage Petteri Poutiainen, and he's going to be talking about how to establish a positive sales enablement culture.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here, and easy topic, how to establish a positive sales enablement culture. Obviously, it's all about the culture. And my name is Petteri Poutiainen. I've been in sales for the past 25 years. I've been working for Oracle in multiple sales management roles throughout the 18 years. I've been at Salesforce as a country leader for the past 4 years, and after that with Digitalis Group as CEO and president. And I'm actually now just in between jobs. I'm joining Workday on Monday, so really my third San Francisco-based company. In these San Francisco-based companies, Silicon Valley companies, it's all about sales culture. And in this presentation, I'm going to reflect a little bit with a wider perspective, what the culture is all about, how it should be established, and what kind of results it can bring when it's done right. All right, so let's start. I want to start with a story, and because it's all about positivity, I wanted to bring this flying team for the presentation. And the event what happened for this man, he was flying from New York to London Heathrow, but actually he missed his flight. And what happened, he went to the desk in New York and he said, I'm in a catastrophe. I don't have a flight connection. I have missed my flight. I have my wedding anniversary. My wife will be so angry for me if I don't get home in time. Is there anything you can do? And their air personnel was looking at different flights and actually said that, oh, we have a connection flight for you. It will leave in a couple of hours. And we are really sorry that you missed your wedding anniversary, but hopefully you get home in time. What happened, he then had a beer, of course, in the lobby, and he went to the plane. He was delighted that he got to the airplane in time, and he had a big happy smile. And then after an hour, air hostess came to him and said, we heard that you have almost missed your wedding anniversary, and here's a little present for your wife. And the smile the man had at this time was just enormous, and he said that this is going to be the best wedding anniversary in my life, and he was delighted to fly back home. And this is what the culture is all about, and this is what I'm going to talk about today, how the information will flow throughout the organization, how these magical moments are delivered to the customers. And I'm going to start with the overall theme that happy employees equal happy customers. And this is very easy to see, not only in everyday life, but let's take a moment, for example, in a little store. They have measured, for example, that when customers are happy, typically the employees are happy, and vice versa. There is always correlation. And throughout the history, we have seen this happening all over the place. So, for example, if the employees are starting to suffer, they are not happy, obviously the customers are not happy either, and it's no big secret. So obviously once you have the culture that is enabling employees to be happy, you are starting to deliver results. And this morning we have heard lots about sales enablement already. What are the kind of tips and theses to bring these kind of results? But I want to really take a wider perspective, because the foundation of the sales enablement strategy is obviously to provide the tips and tools and assets and whatsoever to make the sales process successful. But it's not only the salespeople, but it's the entire organization. And when we talk about positive culture, there is a very strong foundation that we need to build to make the employees happy to start with. And I'm going to just talk about the foundation of positive culture. And I'm going to reflect some of these findings to actually my real life experience with multiple companies, but especially with Salesforce. That is the most, or one of the most innovative companies in the world, and really known for really strong culture. And I want to start with providing a strong purpose and core values. Obviously, Salesforce was all about giving back to the society, equality, sustainability, and all these things. But they're not only stickers, they are something that people live every single day when they go to office and even free time, starting with different voluntary activities. And I want to really put effort on the word purpose, because no matter when you join a team, whether it is small team or big team, I wonder, most of us will ask, what is the purpose of all this? It's not to sell more. There has to be bigger purpose. And especially the younger generation is talking about the purpose. What kind of thing we are aiming for? Are we going to build the base station to the Mars, or are we going to make the world a much better place, and how are we going to do it? It's no longer just to bring the results. And obviously, core values must be really in the heart of everything we do. And once we have those set right, and we understand there is a reason to be in this organization, in this company, in this team, we need to obviously set clear goals and start building on that plan. And my journey with Salesforce, I joined there 2016. I may basically put this together, a crazy number that we want to be in 3 years in this XXX figure. And everybody were laughing. We will never do that. We will never be able to make that. And once we start to split that down into small, tangible goals and kind of understood that maybe it would be possible, maybe if I do this and you do that and they do that, it becomes reality. And especially with Salesforce, they have this a way of managing the goals through personal business plan for every single employee. It's not only the sales, but every single employee throughout the organization needs to make every year a personal business plan, which is then put in the bits and pieces into quarterly targets and the monthly targets. And obviously, the management is then following that very closely through. And then once we understand the purpose, we have the goals and understand how that is going to fly together, it's all about respect and trust. And that's a tricky one, because especially in these hybrid times, we don't see each other so much, and we need to find new ways to build that respect and trust among each other. And for me, the foundation work and voluntary work, at least what we did at Salesforce, was really way to build that trust. When you are building IKEA furnitures and trying to assemble them together, and you don't know how to use screwdriver, and you have a friend who knows how to use screwdriver and again put the furniture together for homeless people, for example, it really starts building the trust. You are throwing yourself into a situation which is maybe a little bit uncomfortable. You're trying to learn, you figure out who the next person next to you is and you start doing things. And obviously it's all about trust when it comes to teamwork, going to client and so on. And then openness and transparency. We were talking a little bit earlier today how the information is flying throughout the organization. So the platforms we use, what customer service is logging into the system, what kind of information we can get once we go to the client. Do we understand the client 360? All what has happened before, where they going, what are their values, what are their maybe personal hobbies, and so forth and so forth. We become more relevant. And this transparency throughout the organization for everything what we do is crucial for organization. And then the fun piece, appreciation, not only the sales results, but really appreciating every single employee throughout the organization. And these surprise moments that somebody maybe have a birthday, or maybe they have done some extra effort with the client in a customer service whatsoever. But it's crucial that we build this culture of appreciation. And there is not, I could not put more effort on this. The teams who actually appreciate and celebrate are the most successful teams. And then throughout the whole collaboration piece, I love this team when we talk about, for example, ice hockey team. They don't try to be a team. They are the team. So you see the difference. You don't try to be a team, you are a team. And that's something that when it gets together, it actually just makes you the winning team. And that's what this is all about, building the winning teams. And then, of course, training and development. For example, us at Salesforce, we used to do always training before we went to a customer meeting. And what I mean by training, we did rehearsals. We actually agreed who will pick up the pen, who will actually say this and that word, who will ask this and that question. And it was rehearsals after rehearsals after rehearsals. You need to be pro. You need to be better than the competition. You need to just actually make it together so that you actually bring relevancy to the meeting. And then, of course, the part of the culture, of course, bringing opportunities for growth, exciting career path, exciting new possibilities to work for a new project and so forth. So when you can tick all these boxes, I think you are quite close building a very successful foundation for your sales enablement as well. And actually companies that really understand this are really the ones who actually truly understand the meaning of positive sales enablement culture. And I want to go back in a second to this theme of building a moment to your client, building more than a meeting. And it's not necessarily only for a client, but actually when you have this positivity in your culture, you actually are delighting the customer, and customers are also wanting to meet you again and again. Because it's fun to work with you guys, because you always bring some relevancy. You actually bring cupcakes. You actually bring something that is just the extra effort that is needed. And that positivity needs to be built. It needs to be built actually from top down. And that's actually something that we have to also remember, that it's not only that we put these stickers on the wall and we hope that, oh, now it's all positive. It won't happen. It's the management responsibility from top down to bring this to the action. And that's important. And one just a practical example I remember from my life was I was on the main stage in one event, and there was the World Championship in breakdancing, just challenging me to dance. And I don't dance. I especially don't do breakdance. And I said, okay, I'll do it. I will just. This is the winning team. We do anything. And I went upside down on the main stage. I put my feet to the sky, and it was totally crazy. And people were laughing. They probably don't remember anything else from the whole event except that I was upside down on the main stage. But what happened was that I was part of the team. I was part of the winning team that second, and people were thinking that, yes, this is the company we want to work for. Yes, this is the company. Hopefully, they will sell crazy products as well, because there is a crazy guy on the main stage, feet up in the sky. I don't know, but sometimes it needs this just extra effort to be something and really show the values. And obviously, it's not enough to be good in breakdance. It's also important to sometimes look how we are developing the results. And I look very simple methods and measurements. And I look at the, how we are doing in terms of sales cycle length, how we are, doing in terms of salespeople. Are they reaching their results? Are they doing the quotas, their targets? What is the average deal size? How the customer satisfaction is developing? And there is, of course, pressure to do better. But I believe, as I said in the beginning, that the happy employees, how they are delivering the results will happen quite systematically. But sometimes you may have the situation that you're in trouble. You miss the results. And typically salespeople are asking, how are we gonna do this and how I'm gonna survive that? I always tell them that they have to have 2 feet on the ground. And I look at the results through this triangle. So there's one aspect is results, one aspect is own story, and third aspect is your reputation. So if you miss your results, you miss your target this month or this year, and say that, well, what is your own story? How are you going to fix it? What happened? How are you going to make your numbers next year? And I'm going to ask also your colleagues, by the way, what is your reputation? And if you have a good reputation and a good story, you will definitely have possibilities to bring the results next year. But if you're starting to miss a little bit in all over the place, that's bad. Then you need to manage that somehow. And sometimes you may miss the reputation even, But if you have a good explanation and good results, I think you can still survive in the organization. I always say, keep 2 feet on the ground. So to start wrapping this up, I want to talk about happy employees equal happy customers. And I hope this has given you a little bit of foundation on a bigger picture, what we need to look into when we are building this sales enablement culture. It's not only the tips and tools and assets, it's much bigger picture. And that only will bring the results. I want to thank you in this stage, and hopefully there's some questions.
Petteri, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really enjoyed that. It was interesting because when Henrik spoke earlier on, he talked about, he said there's the same questions,
Yes.
but there are new answers.
Yes.
And some of the examples you gave, such as the husband on his way home and the airline turning up with the president. I've never had that happen to me, I will say. They usually say tough luck, you've missed your flight. And then your other example, I think, was remembering a birthday.
Yeah.
And I think people be sitting out there going, well, that's what good salespeople used to do. And what you're talking about is creating a whole culture of salespeople that do that. And you laid out your seven, I think it was ideas. There's a lot of stuff in there. So if somebody's sitting out there and going, well, I haven't got any of that sorted yet, what would be your first step? That first little thing. What's the one step that people should take to get themselves moving in that direction?
I always want to start with the purpose. And I think the purpose is the most important thing. If you don't have a purpose, it doesn't matter what kind of PowerPoints you have. So there need to be a bigger purpose for anything you do. So I would start always with that.
Okay. So, and again, even purpose, it's quite a big thing, isn't it? When I work with individuals, sometimes we'll talk about purpose and people go, oh, I have no idea. So again, same question, what would be your piece of advice to an organization going out there going, well, I'm not really quite sure what the purpose is in that sales team. How would you do that?
Yeah, I would say that. What is your purpose? I would ask the sales team. What do you want from this work? Why you work here? Should we talk about it together? Sometimes it's just putting the cat on the table and talking. Why do we exist? Because once that is defined, we have probably tools or assets or products that will improve somebody's life or something. There has to be something. There is a reason for every single business. Why do they exist? And there is a purpose why they exist. So let's talk about it.
Brilliant. Petteri, thank you very much.